20 signs you are having sex with a narcissist or have had a relationship where you've had sex with a narcissist. Guys, you're very welcome to this channel, narcscon, where we deal with all things in relation to the narcissistic personality disorder, how to overcome it, how to heal from a relationship with somebody who had NPD. I've told Remy to cover his ears here for this particular podcast, but he didn't seem too perturbed. For anyone listening to this on audio, Remy is our mascot, come production assistant, come supporter of all of us survivors and thrivers after post-narcissistic abuse. So, guys, today I'm putting this podcast together because in coaching and in my own experience of healing from narcissistic abuse, the main thing people always want to know is, was my ex-partner a narcissist, or is my partner a narcissist, or is a relation a narcissist? So one of the ways, there's a lot of ways, obviously, of discerning whether perhaps you were with a narcissist, because we can't diagnose anybody and narcissists generally won't go in to be diagnosed. So we have to make the best job of it with the information that we had and the experiences that we had as to decide whether the person was a narcissist or not, or what they were and what went on in the relationship. People find that once they can accept and decide that the person they were with due process and a lot of education here, was more than likely a narcissist, they find it a lot easier to move on because they know that that particular person is not relationship material for them or the new supply or the old supply or for anybody indeed. So I hope this, in this area of your relationship, may help you to discern, as part of the healing process, whether you were with a narcissist or not. And just a little forerunner to this, obviously there's 20 points here of things that people do that are very narcissistic in sexual relationships. Obviously, if you do them yourself, some of them, or if the person you're with does some of them, it doesn't make them a narcissist. There has to be the rest of the stuff going on, the triangulation, the word salads, the love bomb, and all the different parts of the narcissistic abuse cycle. But this might be a jigsaw piece that helps you fit the puzzle together and that helps you move on. I hope so. So let's get into it finally. Okay, so I have 20 points written down here that in my experience and in the experience of others and in reading and education keep coming up in relation to narcissists. The first point is, when you're having sex with a narcissist, you feel like you're in a movie and they're starring in the movie. They're the main person in the movie and they're conducting the show, and they expect adulation from you and for you to tell them, wow, they're amazing, they're the best person you've ever been with, no one's ever done that before. And they may do a little bit of that to you in the love bomb stage as well. But there's this knowing inside you, and I'm going to do a whole podcast on this feeling. There's a knowing that this is different, that this is, you know, you want to convince yourself that this is your soulmate maybe, and that's why it's so great and spectacular. But you know that you're kind of a little bit removed from the whole experience in that it's not natural. So that's the first point. Did you feel that you were partaking in the narcissist movie when you were having sex with a narcissist or with the partner? Number two, quite early on in the relationship, a narcissist, when you're getting to know them, will do quite a bit of sex texting. I know this is more common nowadays, and particularly in younger people, maybe, I don't know. But it's kind of inappropriate when you don't know somebody that well to turn the whole intimate relationship, the whole relationship that they say they want, you know, a serious, good relationship with you, they want to get married, etc., into putting it down to you being a sexual object, or you feeling, you might want to go along with it, and you might think, oh, open myself up and, do a bit of this back, and sure, this is just fun. But if it feels icky inside, or it doesn't feel of you, see that as a red flag for you. And this is, again, just a common denominator within narcissists and how they approach sex and how they use sex in particular to get their needs met. Number 3, they will push your boundaries. A narcissist, or a sign that someone's a narcissist, sexually will early on even push your boundaries in relation to what you're comfortable doing sexually. And if you don't do something that they want and they push you towards it, you will get a disapproval or a kind of a you're less than feeling later on in the day or the next day for a while. So you will somehow know that that is related to you not agreeing to do what they wanted you to do because there's nothing else that's actually occurred. And again, that's the knowing inside you. If you were to ask your gut, what's going on here? They'll say that person was pushing your boundaries in a sexual way, and this is their disapproval of you not agreeing to break your boundaries. Number 4, they will love to regale you with sexual exploits of the past, but in particular with people pursuing them, with people getting hooked on them, with people that couldn't have enough of them, that they had to turn away. It's like as if the show was so popular that we had to turn crowds away. You get that kind of feeling like, wow, this person, was wanted by so many people. They're so attractive. And that builds into you and into your cognitive dissonance later on, and into your idealization of them, that they are this perfect Adonis or goddess, and that you're very lucky to be with them, and they've chosen you. So you're the special one, and this is a very special relationship. Again, number 5, signs that you might be with a narcissist or having sex with a narcissist is the old pornography. Narcissists love pornography because it is essentially a translation of how they view the sexual relationship with an intimate partner. Pornography objectifies people, their bodies, and the whole act of sex altogether, and makes it into a kind of a drug or something even worse. So narcissists really key into pornography as just the pure physical pleasure, the voyeuristic nature of watching other people, and just the lack of intimacy really speaks to a narcissist. So if you were to say to yourself, what kind of sexual language does a narcissist speak? Turn on a pornography video, whatever they call them, and you'll see how a narcissist views sex. Number 6, this doesn't happen in an adult relationship, guys. This just doesn't happen in a healthy relationship. Narcissists will withdraw sex to control you. Now, they say females do this more than males. I think it's probably equal from what I've heard. They will use the pleasure, the intimacy, or whatever you find in sex, the closeness with your partner, and they will withdraw that from you to control you, to have power over you, to feel they're in control, they're the superior one in the relationship, and you need to get your act together and comply with what they want you to comply with, or that is going to be taken away from you. And in my view, this is something like what they were taught as children. They're translating that into adult life, where they may have, say, in school, something was confiscated from them as a punishment for them to behave themselves. The emotional intelligence of a narcissist is that of a whatever age they stop developing, 4 or 5-year-old, 11-year-old. but that's, they see, an appropriate way to act in an intimate relationship, particularly where sex is concerned. Number 7. So this is the situation, guys. You're in the intimate relationship with a narcissist. You haven't had sex for 2 weeks, and you're actually quite keyed up and you're looking for sex. Well, you have this very important interview the next morning, or you have to catch an early flight and be up at 4 a.m. or whatever you call early. Well, the narcissist, just as you go asleep, wants to have sex with you. They will use those occasions to weaken your prospects of something that you are doing for yourself on your own. They want to control every part and parcel of your life, and particularly something that is of you, that you're doing for yourself, that you need to perform well at, that you could get positive feedback from and validation from outside of the narcissist. And that is a threat to their control. So yes, they will use that particular manipulation and ask you or present themselves for sex at a time when you need your sleep, basically. Number 8. Okay. They are... Sorry, guys, I'm just reading my notes. They are sexually perverse. Yes. Okay. I mean, this is something that people may like to do. I'm not saying it's not healthy. I don't know. I'm not, condemning anyone or saying that you should or shouldn't do. Whatever you do and you feel comfortable doing and you feel safe doing and nobody else is affected by it is fine. But narcissists will like to, again, push your boundaries. And one of the things that I have found reoccurring is that they would like to have sex outdoors where there is a close proximity to people, and even indoors in places like airports or in lifts. And I mean, this may be very exciting and maybe very natural and normal, and some people may absolutely love it and see it as a great thing to do and sign of love, etc. But narcissists like to do this in particular. I think it's the excitement of maybe somebody seeing them. It's the voyeurism again and the element of the performer and the performance. And then if somebody does catch you doing this, I think they get a kick out of it and know that you would probably be mortified. So that's just a little interesting one that's come up quite a few times. Again, leave in the comments if you have anything that you found with the narcissist you were with that would be a sign that they're a narcissist that we haven't mentioned here. I've put 20 down, so I've tried to cover as much as possible. So number 9, I think it is. Yeah. They actually find the normal sex, we say what we call normal sex, boring. It has to be achieving an agenda. And they will again push your boundaries. Most narcissists seek threesomes, particularly if they've been with you for a number of months. They find if they're not getting something out of having sex with you and it's mundane and you're no longer saying, wow, you're amazing, this is the best I've ever had, etc., and your boundaries aren't being pushed, you're pushing back on things and they're withholding sex and it's not having any effect on you because you're quite happy doing other things, then they will push your boundaries into this for their own pleasure and for your degradation in relation to maybe the type of person you are, that's not something you're interested in, but they're giving you such a hard time about this threesome stuff that you are beginning to open up and say, maybe I should explore this, maybe that'll make them happy. I know you get the picture, guys. So they will push the threesome agenda. Number 10, I think, is a lack of protection. They don't actually usually care about protecting themselves or you sexually. So you may find that you're the one asking the questions in relation to, who have they been with, or how's their sexual health, or, do you not think maybe we should look after ourselves here? They will be offended by that oftentimes and just have a very laissez-faire approach about protection, sexual protection. Number 11, they get excitement through cheating. There is nothing a narcissist loves more, particularly when their mask is getting very tight on in the relationship and they're feeling resentful of you, resentful of having to behave to a certain extent to maintain the relationship for the agenda to which or for which they came to the relationship. So they're probably looking, but this might not necessarily be the person they go to next. They're definitely looking for a new supply. They're always looking to see if there's somebody better out there, because people and relationships are objectified and transactional with narcissists. So it's like looking for a better deal all the time. So cheating is big on their agenda, just for the kicks or for something more serious further down the line to make that person into their new supply. There's nothing a narcissist likes better than to be texting loving or sex texts to their cheating partner, getting off the phone, getting real excited by the progress they're making or whatever they got back from that person that shows that person is really under control. They'll have sex with you then because they're excited. Remy, close your ears here. The next thing you may find the narcissist doing more than once, this is an adult now, this is an adult person who you're in a relationship with. You will find them masturbating. You'll come upon them masturbating. Or the old bathroom door will be closed and you're kind of going, what's going on in there? They spent ages in the bathroom. There's no water running. There's nothing happening. And okay, well, that's a knowing. Listen to your gut. They're up to their hijinks in there. What number are we on? I think it's number 13, guys. During sex or conversations around sex, if you want to talk about it, how things are going, or yes, Remy, don't listen. If you want to talk about or have a sexual conversation about maybe you're not getting your needs met or whatever, or why do they keep withholding sex at different times from you, they will start to tell you who you are and why you feel the way you feel, and it'll be your fault. It won't be their fault. They've nothing to do with it. Notwithstanding their 50% of the bodies involved in this, it'll be how you feel. You have some issues, and you need to, this is the way you feel about it, and this is what you need to do about it. So it's actually a form of gaslighting in relation to the sexual part of your relationship. Number 15. Now, this is a mature, in inverted commas, adult who will be telling other people about what you're like in bed. You may be married to this person. You may be going out with them, engaged to them. You may have a very serious relationship with them. They'll be regaling people down in the pub, at the club, out on walks, in the family, about how you perform in bed. So this is number 16, and we've had this before, cheating for the kicks. Narcissists are always cheating because they're never present. They're either cheating physically or they're cheating you out of gaslighting you into looking in your eyes when they're having sex with you and making you feel that they're there. They'll do this initially, and then towards the mid part of the relationship in the end, they won't. It'll be perfunctory. But they're not having sex with you They're literally having sex with themselves. They're using your body to gratify themselves. This is not an intimate act. And again, the knowing in you, you know that. You know that. And you become sad. You become less than. You begin to feel disrespected. You begin to feel as dirty as them. It's a horrible feeling, and you feel it, but you don't know why you're feeling it or what you're feeling, because to all intents and purposes, they're having sex with you. Number 17, this is quite a bad one, because obviously some of these things can't be gotten rid of, but they will definitely give you a present. If they're older narcissists, they will probably give you a present of an STD. If you're lucky, you don't. But I've heard of this frequently. And if they do, I've also heard of them blaming their monogamous partner who's been monogamous for years, maybe. This is the scenario often. The person might have been married for 20 years and then their partner dies and they've been 2 years monogamous. The old narcissist has been putting it around every which way, where and when and what have you. And the STD comes up and the narcissist blames their inactive sexual partner for it. Number 18. This is definitely, you can say, well, this is me and I'm not a narcissist, but narcissists are often fastidious, particularly if they're the somatic narcissist, where they're really into their bodies and how they look, and they use their sex or sexual attraction to control people, to bring people into them, to hook them, and to triangulate people with. These narcissists will be fastidious and will be groomed to the nth last hair on their head, and they will spend quite a lot of money, time, etc. on self-care, which is actually, where a narcissist is concerned, self-aggrandizement. They will look down on anybody who appears less groomed than them. Even if the person has done a hard day's work, is on their way home and rushing to their next job or whatever, that person will be seen as dirty and will be called out so. And even also, you may be looked on and kind of going, what are you going to do? Are you having a shower? You know, that kind of thing. Did you have a shower? Do you want to go? The shower is free if you want to go in it, you know, or whatever. You get the picture. There's this insinuation that you're not quite well groomed enough, and that you're less than, and you kind of, you know, I won't go in. I'll only start making myself laugh, guys, but you know what the narcissists are like. Any opportunity to put you down and to put them up will be used against you. And I suppose this kind of comes into the sexual presentation of the narcissist. So you will get a feeling, kind of, because they really believe they're godlike or goddess-like, you will be triangulated with that feeling. And in it being pushed in your face so much, because you don't feel like you're a god or goddess, you will kind of feel a little bit cowed by it sometimes, maybe. Let me know how you felt if it happened to you. Okay, so this is number 19 or 20. I think it just about have 20 signs down here. Let me know if you've experienced this. Now, guys, I've heard this personally, and I realized that this was actually a manipulation, because narcissists oftentimes don't remember what they tell you about other people or what they tell you in the past, because it's oftentimes, sometimes it can be the truth, sometimes it's a made up thing, but they'll often do the tells where they'll use that particular same manipulation on you in the future. So saying they're not able to have sex, that they're physically not able. With the guys, it can be, say, erectile dysfunction, or with women, I know, use your imaginations. They'll come up with some reason that they're physically or medically not able to have sex with you. These are the scenarios they'll use in relation to they need to stay with you longer to get their agendas met. For instance, they need you to commit financially. It's often for financial reasons that they'll stay with people and use this particular manipulation. They need a house, they need your family, they need something from you, but they don't want to be bothered. They feel that you're hooked enough already, and they don't want to be bothered to have to keep you on the sexual hook. They don't want to be bothered doing that. They have a few people on the go elsewhere, or they'll use their old pornography and do a DIY job. So what I'm saying to you is this lie will be used. And I think it's a terrible, awful, disgusting, vile way of depriving your partner of a part of the relationship that's very important by keying into their empathy. I mean, what partner is going to say, not understand where somebody is medically not able to have sex and say, well, I'm going to walk away from you because you can't have sex with me? Of course, you're going to be supportive. Of course, you're going to love that person and you're going to give them time or whatever they need. You love them. You love them. But they're using that manipulation against you. Now, if the person is kind of copping on and understanding that this doesn't make sense, and if they've said that this happened to them in a different relationship, but that they were lying to their partner in the other relationship because they wanted to coerce them into doing something, or their partner was annoying them, so that's what they came up with. And then they come up with this view and they've forgotten that they've told you about the last relationship where they deliberately did that. Then we've a different story and case on our hands. So I think that concludes, I think it was 19 or 20 signs that this is what narcissists do in sexual relationships. The last one I'll say to you is, be very, very careful of someone you get into a relationship with, that you're not in a relationship with for very long. What's long? Maybe 6 months, a year even is quite early on. If they want to film you, if they want to take shots on their camera of you in a compromising position or with no clothes on, don't allow it. Because narcissists frequently blackmail people with putting their pictures up on social media, etc., etc., etc. It is not appropriate, in my opinion, for someone to film you or take a photograph that you haven't known for a very long time and really, really trust. If there's other signs, what I'm saying about not being appropriate, if there's other signs that this person is or could be there's red flags, there's a knowing in you that there's something off about this person, be very careful with your personal exposure to them. Be very careful signing documents and be very careful with your finances if you have a knowing inside of you. Again, we'll do another video on the knowing, but for now, that's the best advice I can give, and that's the best relaying of experiences, that 20 signs that you may be having sex with a narcissist. I hope that was helpful. Bye for now. See you again soon. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're looking after yourself. And whatever stage you're at in your healing, don't give up. Stay with us. Don't give up. We've all been there. Help anyone out that you see here in the comments that's struggling. Please stay with us. It gets a hell of a lot better. Bye for now.